Hello everyone and welcome back to Canada West TV and tonight's CBC Sports for another presentation of Canada West Women's Hockey. A week into the season, we are, as we already see, our first Crowchild matchup of the season. The UFC Dinos have made their way to the FCA looking for their second win of the year. MRU looking for the same. Both teams entering tonight's matchup at 500. Who will get on the right side of that? We will have to see. My name is Truman Bartman, and alongside me, as always, is Naomi Campbell. And Naomi, game one last weekend for the Cougars, really strong offensively. Game two, we saw a bit of a dip. What type of Cougars are we going to see today?
I think we're both going to see a very strong set of Cougars. This is the Crowchild Classic matchup, first one of the season. So these girls are going to come in strong. They're going to fight strong. I think we're going to see a lot of what we saw in game one last weekend.
And game one last weekend for Julia Duke was remarkable. A 2-point night on her end. And for the Dinos, only one goal as a unit last weekend. That came off the stick of Jess Martins. Isa McPhee from the point, and she got her stick and herself on the assist column last weekend with her first Canada West point. Puck moved across for the veteran Josie McLeod, who spent lots of time with the Dinos over the years and is a tall figure near the top of their lineup. Matenko. Kyla Matenko on the ice here for the Dinos, third-year player. We saw her sister last weekend, so getting the full Matenko action here from the FCA in back-to-back weekends. Duke will fight after that one along the wall, and what a coming out party it was for Julia Duke. She's looking to become a star in this league and showed that in game one. Comte will chase back for it. Brianne Comte still looking for her first Canada West goal. We'll see if it comes tonight at all. Lawrence cutting towards the middle. Plays it back to the point now, and it was lost there by the Dinos. And out away was Duke. Watain was looking for her, but countering are the Dinos. Ray on goal, and Kate Holan makes the save. Kate Holan making her second start of the year, was brilliant in the first.
Kate Holan definitely played a great game last weekend, so it's nice to see Scott put her back out on the ice to give her another chance at that fighting spot for that starting goaltender for these girls.
Yeah, you're right. It still is very much a fight. Scout Anderson with the win in the first game of the season. We'll see how things shake out, but Holan's making a strong case. Here's Borbandi. Captain badge on her this season. New line mate with her in this game is Ashley Grice into the lineup for the first time this year. Gabby Lindsay looked to play that one away from Bree Kennedy. Kennedy hasn't gotten into the lineup for the Dinos a whole lot over the last couple of years, but she's been solid when she has seen action. Here's Spence. Alex Spence towards the goal in her first game against her former team in the Cougars, and you know she's going to want to leave a dent on this one. Dinos work it down the corner. Backhander out front. Couple of whacks at it. It's Zuck who's in there, and it's Holan who gets the last laugh with the save.
Holan has been playing great so far. She's only stopped a couple shots, but it's nice to see her just start right out on her game 100%. UFC's defense so far, as we can see, is going to be a tough one to beat. They've got some pretty strong lineups, so getting out of the Cougar zone has proven to be slightly difficult in the first couple minutes.
And you talk about in their own zone. Summer Femrada is a premier player in her own zone as she gets into a board battle here. Zuck along the boards, and Femrades will take it away. Was looking for Kiana Burt, who had a real nice opening weekend to her rookie career here with the Cougars. No points yet. Is that one going to go for icing, and we'll head back the other way? But for Burt, it's the speed, it's the shiftiness that really highlights her game.
Yeah, Burt is quick on her feet. She's quick thinking. She can move into those smaller spaces. She really knows where she is before we even see where she's going to be. So it's nice to see her jump right into play as a rookie candidate to this team.
Femrada is up the boards to Livia Butts, and here's Burt. Kiana Burt towards the goal, and a save there from Awad. Amelia Awad had a breakout performance at the Crowchild Classic at the Saddle Dome last year, where she came away with the win, just allowing one goal. Down to the corner for Livia Butts. Butts, a backhand looking for Hutt, and that's the spot that Hutt scored from last weekend. Was looking for another here as she's down to her knees. Turnover here by the Dinos on the back end. And maybe now a chance for Girard. Girard, a shot on goal and a save by Awad. Ali Girard, 10 goals a few seasons back. Looking to get her first this season. Tate down below. Girard picks it up, looking for Benko, and Sydney Benko fanned on the shot. Here's Comte in tight, and that one wide. McNinch swirls around, looking to cut to the goal, and it's taken away by Matenko. Good pressure early on here. We're only 5 minutes in, but the Cougars look hot. Here's Hanson Young, a blast, and a save there from Awad once again.
Hanson Young has been proven to be one of the more offensive defensive that the girls have on this team, and you can see by the way she shoots that puck, she can really rip that from the blue line, and she's not afraid to do so in any circumstance. And
a very hard shot that is. We talked about that a lot last week, and watching in warm-up for the Dinos, a girl who's out there now, Jada Johns, was rifling the puck. I'd be scared if I was Awad trying to save that on the other side. The point for Borbandi. Here's retained towards the goal, and looking for a tip there was Ava Metzger, but she didn't get to it. Martins will chase after Hanaki. Just one Hanaki in the lineup again tonight, and that's Jordan. Watain looking for the tip pass there to Metzger, then she couldn't get it to Duke. Dinos will take it on the back end, and it is Jada Johns now. Johns didn't play any games last year, had a really strong rookie campaign, however, so she'll look to regain that form. Lawrence stuck in the corner. April Clarenbach down there. Led rookie scoring for a lot of last year. She'll look to build on that. And here's Spence down below. Strong skating Alex Spence to the point for Ray. Spence sends that one in, and it was deflected wide by Borbandi. A pinballing shot that even had Holland fooled. Hanaki turns away behind her own net, and a good play by Clarenbach down low. Clarenbach lost it on the backhand. It's played to the near wall for Spence. Here's Ray. Far side to Clarenbach. Dinos with a little bit of momentum their way now as Perlinger sent that one towards the goal. Spence heads back for it. Cougars making a change here. Dinos trying to move off of it. McPhee on the back end. It's ahead to Borbandi. Quick pass over to Lindsay, right hand side. Lindsay delays towards the goal. Oh, and it hit the post. A tip out front by Borbandi almost had the icebreaker. Perlinger trying to vacate her own end. Passes ahead for Cooper. Cooper hustling after it, and Borbandi's got it now with a delayed offside. Lindsay, push pass to herself, delays again, now sends a shot on goal, and Awad there to save it. Pressure both ways. Haven't had a whistle so far, it feels like, and that's usually a good sign. Here's Cooper on goal, and a glove snatch there from Holland. 13:30 to go here in the first period as we are moving along swimmingly and both teams trading glorious chances.
Yeah, they both have had some great opportunities on either goalie. Awad, more of a veteran. She knows kind of more of the schematics of the shots that are going to be coming off of this Cougars team, whereas Holland is brand new to facing these Dinos. So it'll be interesting to see what she comes up with on these shot attempts off of the Dinos.
And as you talk about Holland, we saw last weekend, it doesn't matter if she hasn't seen the team before, she plays her game, she's ready to go, whoever the opponent may be. Cutting inside was Matenko. One hands it to the corner. Mercier right back there waiting for the cyclone. Instead, here go the Cougars. Burt with a great burst of speed down the right-hand side and a better play defensively. Here's Hutt. Drop off to Comte. She navigates around the boards, and it's broken up, and maybe a breakaway for Matenko. Oh, Matenko had it hit her skate, and it'll fall into Cougar ice. Kyla Matenko off to the races there, and Cougars fortunate she couldn't claim that one cleanly. Puck jammed along the boards here. Official keeping a close eye on it. And finally taking it out of there is Abby Borbandi. Madeline Nafziger down to the ice as she took a slip. The only Nafziger in the game tonight. Jolie not in the lineup for the Dinos. Burt out of her reach. Johns will send it back in. Wide of the goal, and Zuck will break in now. Zuck, backhand out front, and it's taken away. Dangerous chance there as Curley was in the area. Gerard, high flyer. Awad's going to keep it covered, so the Cougars will get an offensive zone draw here.
Gerard's been playing really, really great today. She's been very prominent on the ice so far. Even last weekend, she played a great game. But with the amount of goals she had last year, we're hoping to see her really push forward and push herself towards the net to really get those opportunities, because she is a great player. So it'll be nice to see her finally get one on the board.
Gerard down low. And that's tough when you have a down year points-wise. She, as you alluded to, experienced that last year. And for the Dinos, Sydney Mercier with the same thing. It's the first time she didn't have double-digit points in her career. Both former Canada West stars looking to get back to it. McNinch. And here is Gerard. Good speed, look to play it around her former teammate in Spence. And she'll take a slip in the corner. And that former national championship teammate. You know, those two will be tied and bonded forever together. Here's Lawrence, cutting up ahead, looking for Clarenbach. Skating in is going to be Kennedy, and she wasn't able to hold the line. Tate will regroup here, and it's Hanaki. Got a chance to talk with the Hanaki sisters earlier this week, and they have a really strong bond. And a goal here! A turnover out front, first of the game for the Dinos, and they got a 1-0 lead on the road.
It was a great goal. That turnaround came super quick. I don't even think Holland knew where the puck was, but Kennedy got a great shot off, and that'll be really nice for the Dinos, their second goal of their season today.
And Bree Kennedy, as we alluded to earlier, hasn't gotten into the lineup a whole bunch. You know, finally getting one when you've been out a whole bunch, that's a good sign and got to be a good feeling for her and her teammates.
Yeah, exactly, especially with playing with Edge. She was great with their U18 prep team. She had 36 points in 43 career games. So she knows how to score the puck. It's just the opportunity to be on the ice to actually get to where she wants to be.
And lots of members of that Edge program within this game, Jordan Hutt, April Clarenbach, Kyla Matenko. We could go down the list, but lots. There is Clarenbach around her own goal as she hands it off to Johns. Far side. And with the Dinos getting a 1-0 lead here, their problem over the last 2 years has been scoring. It's a good sign to see that they get one within the first 10 minutes. Here's Mercier out front, and a knob save there from Holland. Matenko to Mercier again, and a save there from Holland. Things are heating up for the Dinos. Their offense has some pop.
For the fact that they have an issue scoring over the past 2 seasons, their rebound attempts are unreal. They've been able to find almost every single one of them tonight. It's just getting it past Kate Holland is their issue at this point, as we can see.
One of the other issues is that Brooklyn Anderson, one of their primary scorers, isn't in the lineup tonight. She led them in scoring a season ago, but clearly not affecting UFC. Fry. Speaking of scoring, she got her first ever Canada West goal right here at the FCA a few seasons back. Here's Borbandi. Up ahead. Faked the drop to Grice, and now we'll cut to the corner. McPhee is waiting for the puck up top. It never reached her. McPhee holds the line. Cougars making a change up front. The Butts line coming onto the ice is from Rodez will hold the zone. Summer from Rodez. Over to Kiana Burt, takes it on her backhand. McPhee, rookie to rookie, and a block shot there. Good play by Cooper. Butts up high from Rodez, takes it cleanly, now down to Burton. Good play defensively by the Dinos as Tate takes it away. But a turnover here might lead to something for Mount Royal. Here's Hutt walking in, and a tip play there by Fry. Now out front again, a rebound try off the boards, and Burt sent a backhand into the glove of Awad.
With how Burt's playing tonight, I have a feeling we're going to end up talking about her a lot. She is playing an amazing game. She is so forward, up into the net. She's not afraid to do anything at this point to get a goal on that scoreboard. So we'll have to see how she holds out the rest of the game, see if she can keep that stamina and energy going.
Well, and there's always that breaking in period. That was last week for Burt. Now she understands, hey, I'm a Canada West player just like any of these girls. Here's a wraparound out front, and McNinch couldn't put it home. And speak of McNinch, you talk about someone in her rookie year who struggled at times and then found her game. She knows all about the ups and downs and the woes within a first season. Up to the middle. That one couldn't be claimed by Curley. It's back to Hanson Young. McNinch. Her and Gerard will work in together. Drop pass was broken up. Clarenbach read it the whole way. Here go the Dinos away now. April Clarenbach. Left-hand side. Good play defensively there by Watain, and now she'll take it up ahead. 1-on-5. Watain towards the goal, and a blocker saved by Awad. Now this one looking like it's going to go for icing here against the Dinos, and it will. So with 8:12 to go, the Dinos in command with a 1-0 lead, but Mount Royal, a good response after giving up one.
Yeah, they're still holding strong. They're not letting it get to them. They're still playing just as hard as they were before that goal came past Kate Holin.
A little bit of a huddle here for Mount Royal. Watain, Metzger, Duke out there. Cougars juggled the lines a lot in their second game against the Huskies, and some of those line combinations have stayed here for this first game of the weekend. Nafziger works it back to Johns, and Johns ran into a brick wall that was Ava Metzger who was charging on. Lawrence looking for Curley, or rather Ray, up ahead. Played back to Johns. Jada Johns will chip that one off the boards. Tried to headline Clarenbach, but instead it's McPhee with it. Metzger to the middle, and Watain going to go one-on-one here with Tate. Curling to the middle, fell over, rebound there, couple of whacks at it. Awad saves them all. It was Duke with the second chance, Watain with the first, but it still remains a 0 on the board for Mount Royal.
Yeah, both girls, both Watain and Duke scored last weekend, sorry. So we'll see if they can get one on the board. They both are not afraid of scoring. They had great seasons last year. Watain being one of the highest scorers on the Cougars with 11 goals. So it'll be nice to see what she can come up with.
Matenko up to McLeod and in. The M&M line here, as you could call it, Matenko, Mercier, McLeod. Moved up the boards. Mercier over to Tate. She's got a chance to walk in. That shot's going to deflect wide. Tate over to Fry. Fry puts it in on goal, and it was blocked by Hanaki. Tate, another block shot. This time it was Gabby Lindsay. Dinos work it around the side. Holland trying to take a peek behind her goal. Fry walks in. Ooh, almost a dangerous play out front as it hit a skate and went towards Holland. Borbandi gets around the end of Matenko. Dinos will make a change up front here. Cougars will break in. Burt, that one will be offside as Borbandi lost the handle. The Cougars will bring a new group out with that Hutt, Butts, and Burt unit, but I want to revisit the Metzger, Duke, and Watain trio because it's such a unique group. You got a sniper and someone who's got a great set of hands in Watain, a speedster in Duke, and then a defensive-minded center in Metzger. You got all three traits on one line.
Yeah, it really is a great line that Scott has set up for the girls. Last weekend, he kept switching back and forth. He was really putting in random matchups here and there to see what was working best. And I've noticed he's putting McPhee and Burt out a couple times tonight. So he's really trusting his his rookies, not goalies. He's really trusting his rookies to be that blue line and be there for the team this year.
Here's Cooper, cuts in, the smooth skating Perlinger with her. The corner now for the Dinos. Nafziger comes onto the ice, the second player on that blue line for the Dinos as the Cougars break it out. That one off the backhand of Burt. Nafziger trapped, but she escapes. Cooper, cut to the middle, off to Zuck. Zuck creating space around the far side. Just about 5 minutes to go here in this first period. Comp down low. Looking for it in the middle. And now it's going to be kept in by Johns, who throws a Cougar down on the side. It was Hutt. Johns towards the goal, and a blocker save there by Holland in tight. One thing about Jada Johns, not afraid to take it offensively. Butts will dump that one in. Cougars will grab a change. Girard out there as Hearn McNinch enter the playing surface. Zuck looking for some help. Tried to get it to Martins, and Martins couldn't catch up with it. From Rades. Chip play over to Ray, second-year player for U of C. Got to participate in the shootout at the Crowchild Classic last year, and you can imagine the nerves she was feeling in that game. Benko around the side. And Benko being a Flames fan, sure the nerves were high for her in that game as well, playing in her team's barn. McPhee over to from Rades, far side, and it's going to hit Benko. Works it up with Girard, but all Dinos back, and a glove save there from Awad. Girard was cutting in looking for a rebound.
Metzger's been playing really well tonight. I like to see her up, even Watain and Duke. Like, the three of them together have just been this powerhouse trio. So it's nice to see them up there. Same with Jordan Hanaki. She's been a great defensive player. So even you said earlier, we got to speak to them a couple days ago and really learn more about the sisterhood and how they made it to their positions. So it's nice to see her out on the ice after learning about where she came from.
Down low for the Dinos. And not only is this line connected on the ice, but all three players from Saskatchewan, so there's a little bit of that Sask connection there. And this one will be blown offside. And I'm sure within playing minor hockey in Sask, you get familiar with a couple of the other talented girls around, so I'm sure they knew about each other's games far before they ever joined the Cougars. Metzger going to win the draw here, but it is pushed back to Spence, so the Dinos take control. Perlinger around the boards. We saw her and Watain chatting at the very start near the red line. So foes in this game, but likely friends off the ice. Compt lets that one roll by, and it's Hanson Young who looks for the outlet. Watain looking for the bank pass to Metzger, and he's going to hit her in stride. Metzger down on the ice and somehow fed that one rink wide, but Watain wasn't home. Stretch pass, Cooper, that one off the end of her sticking in. From Rades tries to tie her up. It's to the boards for the Dinos. Arm up here, looks like the Cougars are going to be getting a penalty as it's touched up by McPhee. So first power play of the game going the way of the Dinos. And for the Dinos last year, this was a unit that struggled a little bit. They have the big names, they have the pedigree. They just didn't have any of the goal scoring when it came to the man advantage.
Exactly. The Dinos have been a great team for many, many years, but the last couple of them, their offense has been a little bit slower. They don't have the goal scorers, but they have had a great back end. Their defensive lineups and their goalies have been really, really strong. So when they do win games, they're winning them off of the lower amount of goals, but they have that really strong defense.
And a good play defensively by Jordan Hanaki. Starts a clear for MRU. And you got to look at the two on the back end here for the Dinos, Alex Spence and Caitlin Perlinger. That might just be the best defensive duo in all of Canada West, especially skating-wise. Boy, those two can fly. Spence was on the Cougars power play last year, so she's used to being in this kind of environment. Perlinger also on the Dinos power play last year. Gonna wait for things to unfold up front and then sends it to Matenko. Kyla Matenko, a quick move to the middle, across the line, and it stays onside. Matenko works it in. From Rades looking to clear. It's going to be held in there by the Dinos. McLeod's got it in the corner. Johns spacing out here with McLeod. Drop pass to Fry. Fry's going to wait a little longer. Johns has all day now towards the goal, and it rolls through. A tip out front, and the Dinos have a 2-0 lead. It was Matenko.
It was a nice shot off by Johns. Just get it right down the middle, see where it goes. And if it was Matenko, I believe I agree with you on that one. She just was right there, right in that goalie crease, and she had that deflection just for it to be able to get that last little bit. Because Johns can shoot the puck hard, but that was not one of her hardest shots. It was very light, just to kind of get it down the middle.
Burt takes it off the draw, and she's hungry for a goal now, breaking into Dinos territory. But you talk about Matenko, that all started from a strong, speedy break-in from her. And in her rookie year, that's what helped her break out and become essentially a star at that point. She got away from that a little last year. She's looking to regain that sort of momentum this year and use her speed more often. Schaefer gonna head into the face-off dot against Hutt. Cougars gonna win this draw. 1:38 to go here in the first. So it looks like they'll be trailing going into the locker room after period one. Borbandi on the back end looking for Burt. And Burt right ahead to Hutt. Maybe a 2-on-1 here. Hutt going to the middle and couldn't complete the drag as she had an opening on that left-hand side. Burt one-handed, trying to get it away from Kennedy, and now it's played ahead by Spence. Schaefer, far side. That one spun Kennedy around as she flips it in. Oh, a wide open goal and a risky play there as Holland had played it in the corner and Martin's firing it wide. Cougars got to feel as though they got away with one there. Back end for the Dinos, and Cougars also probably hoping that this period ends soon. They only got 42 seconds, but couldn't end quick enough. Here's Curley. Save there from Holland. Hanson Young picks it up on the backhand. Gerard's up ahead. Benko over to McNinch. She crosses over the blue line. McNinch waits towards the goal, and a great play by Fry. A diving play by Brooklyn. Fry negates a chance, and a save there from Awad through traffic. Benko still out front trying to get some space, and Fry's locking it down. Martins scored last week and looking for a second of the season. Walking in, saved by Holland. A toe save almost right at the buzzer. And Mount Royal fortunate that it's not 5-0, only 2 after 1. But the Dinos, they have come out hungry, and they're up early on the road.
Yeah, if this hunger is from the Crow Jog Classic matchup we had last year where they won in the shootout, they're still coming with it. Last games they played each other in the couple matches we had, I think they split the season kind of half and half. They both played great games, and tonight really is going to be a show for everybody, and it's going to be a great setup into the rest of the season.
It'll have to be a big turnaround for Mount Royal if they look to get back in this game. And for the Dinos, how big can the score get? We will have to see when we return with our second period of play from the FCA here in Calgary, Alberta. We'll see you then. Welcome back into the FCA on this beautiful Friday night in Calgary, Alberta, as the Dinos have a commanding 2-0 lead over the Mount Royal University Cougars on the road and in the first edition of this year's Crowchild Classic Series. But let's take a look at how these two teams fared last season before we talk about them in this day and age anymore. The Cougars favorable last year with the 18 victories and, of course, the playoff berth, which the Dinos did not see. The Cougars better in the goal scoring category, 74. We talked about it in that first, that the Dinos had struggled to get on the board. And of course, in the head-to-head, Mount Royal was almost perfect. Their only loss in regulation, or one of their two losses, came in the Crowchild Classic, and their only other loss in regulation was their first matchup of the year, which is playing theme into this as well. One player that was involved on the Mount Royal side in their first matchup of last year, and all the matchups of last year, was Alex Spence, who has now moved over to the other side of Calgary and joined the U of C Dinos. The one-time All-Star, one-time national champion, spent a lot of time with Mount Royal, 2021 all the way till 2025, and now joins the Dinos. 28 career points, 26 of those assists. She was a premier player in Mount Royal's run to the finals back in the day.
Any team would be lucky to have Alex Spence on their roster. It was sad to see her go from MRU, but U of C definitely excited to see them on their lineup. She has played great all night tonight, so it's a great addition for them. And even last year, the Dinos struggled to get on the board with scoring. It was an issue, but as we can see tonight, it's almost like they've turned a new leaf. They're a brand new team. They're coming out strong. The goals that they're scoring are absolutely unreal. They're great goals, and they just have really amped up their gameplay. The Cougars still playing just as well. They are a little bit more favorable. Even going into the start of the season, everyone's talking about them with their run. They've won a championship before, so we'll have to see how both of these matchups pair the rest of the season.
And speaking of run, the speed that U of C used to pressure Mount Royal on the back end in the first was electric, and it forced them into some errors and forced their way into 2 goals. We'll see if that continues for the Dinos. For Mount Royal, there wasn't a lot of grade A chances on the other side. They threw some shots on AWOD, 11 to be exact, but nothing that really tested her, made her think about her decisions.
Yeah, they had a couple good shots where it was 2-on-1 with one of the Cougars and the Dinos getting closer to AWOD. That back end on the Dinos is proven strong as it has the last couple of years. We just were not able to capitalize on those chances. They get close, but not close enough to be able to sneak it past AWOD.
And we are pretty close to puck drop here, but as you know, at Flames Community Arena, there is some time that goes in between the flooding and the ice getting hardened, and that is because the Zamboni, it floods this place. It's probably one of the wettest rinks within Canada West. The time in between is a lot longer than what you would see in most other locations, even across the road at a Father David Bauer, which is where these two will play tomorrow. And the Mount Royal men's team and the U of C men's team playing there right now tonight. So a couple more words between Scott Rivet and his crew. And we're getting official word here that Mount Royal is going to get a delay of game penalty because they didn't come out onto the ice on time. So negate what I said about the flooding, although that is usually a factor. The Cougars will start on the penalty kill here, and the Dinos a chance to strengthen their lead. Mercier, far side. Bandy's going to let that one go behind her goal, hoping that it would be icing. Instead, it'll be Kaya who clears it ahead to Gabby Lindsay, and something you never see is a penalty for coming out onto the ice not fast enough, I guess. And for Mount Royal, that's a costly error.
Exactly. For the amount of hockey games I've watched growing up, I don't think I've ever seen a team get a penalty for not being on the ice in time. So I've seen a million delay of games, but this one is definitely rare. So we'll see how they favor up on this penalty kill.
And in a community that worships the Flames, this only adds to the fire that the Dinos are going to have. They're already leading. They've already got the confidence. Let's see if they can get a third goal. Here's Clarenbach in her own end. Circles back around the goal of AWOD. Spoke about AWOD. The difficulty of saves wasn't really the theme in the first, but she did her job well. Here's Fry, and offside going to be called against the Dinos here. See if they change up the group. They do. That Mercier, Matenko, McLeod unit right back onto the ice. Cougars make a wholesale change as well. Both Borbandis, along with Burt and Hanaki, out there as the 4 killers. Mercier and Borbandi will go on the draw. Perlinger takes it on the back end, sends it around the boards. We'll go to Spence's side of the ice, and she's got it now. Alex Spence walks the line to Perlinger. Return pass in the skate of Spence as her and Perlinger switch sides, and a firing shot out front. Holding onto it is Holen, and that one had some gas to it.
The way the Dinos are shooting tonight, they're really favoring Holen's glove side. She did bobble a couple times earlier, which let in those first couple goals, but we can see it's not shaking her up as much. She's still proven to be strong, so she's not letting it get to her head.
Mercier wins the draw back to Alex Spence. Those two were teammates at the FISU games for Canada last year, and a save there from Holen. Back to Spence. Perlinger. Over to Spence, far side. It was intended for McLeod. Chance out front, and a save there from Holen. Perlinger is going to hold the line. 26 seconds to go here in the Dinos power play. Grice. Kept in by Mercier. Spence. Walks to the middle. Mercier out front was looking for the return to Spence, but it's broken up. Good play by Compt. Brianne Compt, known for her defensive presence, making a key stop there. Dinos up ahead. Kennedy might have a break. One-on-one. Kennedy to the goal, and a save by Holen. Best of the night for Kate Holen, and she keeps the Cougars in this one. Nafziger kept it in. Schaefer was thinking about a change, and it's played away by Mount Royal. Benko, speed on the left side. Fans on the pass for McNinch, but McNinch has it back. McNinch to the goal, and Gerard got a tip on it, but it went wide. Dinos will take it in the corner. Just 1 goal heading into this game. They've already surpassed that total alone. Official's going to say this was touch. Hanaki, long pass. Gerard one-on-one, and they're going to call it offside. Wow, it was close, but I thought that Gerard had slowed down enough.
Yeah, those offside calls are definitely tricky when you get a great opportunity like Gerard did. It sucks to see that she couldn't get her breakaway chance. That would have been the best chance for the Cougars the entire night to try and score on AWOD. So we'll have to see if they can try and sneak another one out in the rest of the game.
Well, and great pass by Hanaki. That was tape to tape. Couldn't put it any better. Here's one for the point, and good play defensively there from Rades. Martin's waiting out front. Ooh, almost friendly fire as it went off the skate of Duke. All Dinos at the moment, even 3 minutes into this period, and Mount Royal chances have been hard to come by.
Exactly. You see a little pushing and shoving by the net. I think that's the most physical the girls have gotten. Watching the game last weekend against U of S, there was not that much physicality, but knowing the rivalry that these two teams have, there's bound to be a little bit of pushing and shoving in the rest of this game.
Watain, Metzger couldn't get it on goal as Tate deflected that one wide. Here's Ray, works it ahead, looking for Lawrence. That pass was picked off by Metzger, and Ray's gonna get it back. A backhander into Cougar ice. McPhee behind her own goal. Pass from Rades was too hot to handle, and the Dinos get it back. Clarenbach, a shot on goal, and a good save there from Holen. Kate Holen settling into this game well after a shaky start in the first. McPhee has trouble with it down low. Perlinger to the goal, and right there again was Holen to make the stop. That speediness and shiftiness of Perlinger and the willingness to jump up at any time, it's a scary thing for opposing teams.
Perlinger for sure is one of the scariest players to go up against. Watching her in warm-ups, she glides on the ice like it is like second nature to her. It's like the back of her hand. So she really knows how to move around everybody with a lot more skill than we see nowadays.
Yeah, warm-up is absolutely fascinating for Perlinger. Compt will play it ahead. Turning around with it are the Dinos. Perlinger once again ahead. Perlinger works away from Butts. Good play there by Hutt on the far side to come and knock it away. Hanson Young. He's got Hutt in the middle. Goes to Butts. And she couldn't field it cleanly. Martins. Far side to Curley. Change happening here for the Dinos. Mercier onto the ice, and Cougars looking to break away. It's Burt. Saucer into the middle. It hit the stick of Butts, and she'll give chase. Nafziger in the corner. Pass out front was knocked away by U of C. McLeod kicks that one over to Matenko, and she's got good speed down the right-hand side. Matenko looking for McLeod, and a good defensive play there by Hanaki. Lindsay looking to counter here for the Cougars, and that puck stripped away by the Dinos. Up ahead it goes. Matenko's got one in this game, but looks like she might have more by the end of it. Nafziger over to Mercier, dumps that in. Holen out to play it. We saw she had some trouble with that earlier in the first, and Jess Martins almost had a goal off of it. Lindsay, drop pass for Bandy, gliding into it, and saving it on cue is Awad.
Another great opportunity for the Cougars, but again, like we've said, a lot of the shots they've taken on Awad just haven't been challenging enough for her to really test her and sneak out and get that puck past. So we'll have to see if they can create a couple better opportunities. It's not that they're not getting the shots off to get those goals, it's the type of shots they do need to get.
That one coming from the captain and Kaya Borbandi. For the Dinos, no captain on the bench this year. It was Rebecca Clark, the veteran grizzled forward last season. Benko keeps that one in. And here's Ali Gerard. Point bound from Rades. McPhee looking for any stick to throw it at, and instead it ends up on goal. Good battle by Gerard down below. McNitch turning and almost threw that one in. Diving onto it is Awad to make the stop. And Ali Gerard, the pursuit behind the goal is what forced that into happening.
You can tell she's very persistent in the fact that she wants to get a goal tonight. She wants that point on the board. And with the Cougars trailing 2-0 after the first period, she has come out even stronger than she did the last one.
Watain on the backhand. Speaking about Gerard's hustle, I was looking through some Cougars photos today that often get posted after the game. In every photo, she was battling for the puck. There was always another player involved in it with her. I think that speaks to what her game's all about. And a whistle going to be blown here. The Dinos going to get a penalty. And it's someone the Cougars were used to seeing go to the penalty box last year in Alex Spence. This time it works in their favor.
For the Cougars, it'll be nice to see her in the box. She is so hard to get past. She's a great player, so it'll be nice for them to get an opportunity to come away from Alex Spence to see if they can try and get past the rest of the Dinos.
Still two big defenders on that back end, and Fry and Johns. Here's Gerard loading up, and a good blocker save there. High stick's going to be called, so this one will be blown dead. But another good chance for Ali Gerard. She put some mustard into that one.
For how many shots she's got off, if she doesn't get a goal tonight, I feel like a lot of people will be surprised.
So we'll reset here. Cougars going with the 4-forward look. You know, they tangoed between the 2 defense look and the 4 forwards last week. Looks like they've settled on the 4 forwards here. 44 over to Hanson Young, and now back to McNitch. Watain in the corner. Hanson Young, one-timer, and it deflected wide. Metzger was going to be draped all over a rebound out front if there was one. Hanson Young waits, now shoots, out front, in and out of the glove of Awad, a second try, and it's just wide. What a chance for Kiana McNitch. Hanson Young reloads to the goal, up high, and somehow getting a piece of it is Amelia Awad. Amelia Awad has the Cougars number, not only in this game, but dating back to last season at the Crowchild Classic.
It's almost like Awad knows where they're going to shoot before they know where they're going to shoot. She is an insane goalie. She's got a great eye for it. So we'll have to see if this power play does the Cougars any well.
And last weekend, we really harped on the tree that the Cougars have built in terms of passing down good goalie traits. The Dinos looking to do the same. From Rades, over to McPhee, into the skates of Benko and out front. That one just wide. McPhee, over to from Rades. Return feed, one-timer, hut towards the goal, and it bounced off the glove of Awad. 48 seconds to go in the Cougars power play, and this one sent down the ice. And the Dinos finally get a much-needed change here as Mercier and McLeod head onto the ice, reloading that forward group. Far side for McPhee. Off the skates of Hutt and in. Mentioning about the goalie tree for the Dinos, former MVP Kelsey Roberts used to be in net. Probably the best of the bunch that they've had in this last decade. Whistle going to be blown here. We're going to get a penalty. And I believe it's going to be body contact, and it's going to be Jordan Hutt going off. So the Cougars power play done here. The Dinos will get a short one after this. By short, I guess a minute 40. So another chance to go here for the girls in red. And for Mount Royal, you don't like to take a penalty when you had a really good power play and it felt like things were brewing.
Exactly. They were really pushing for it. They spent a lot of time in that Dino zone. So they were doing really, really well. It sucks to see at the end of their great power play that they do have to go on an unfortunate penalty kill after these couple seconds.
Tate isn't on this power play unit often for the Dinos, but is there now. Here's Mercier. Looking out front, it's off of Tate and maybe in the goal. Holland took a shot at the end of the play. We'll see what the official ruling is on this. I wouldn't be surprised if this is called a goal. Now some late shoving here is in the middle of it's Abby Borbandi. She's getting in a couple of words with Tate. And Holland down to the ground, made the save out of all that, which is pretty impressive. So they're going to rule no goal on this play, and no explanation will be needed for the Dinos. Duke on the draw here. It's won by Clarenbach. And then Compt will send it down the ice. 1:32 for this Dinos power play to work. And they get Alex Spence out of the penalty box. Going to be fresh for this unit. Clarenbach garners up some speed on that right-hand side, works in with Ray. Lawrence is sitting in the middle, and now it's back to Perlinger. Spence. Down low to Lawrence. Lawrence towards the goal, and a save there from Holland. Some more commotion out front this time. It was Ray who was in there. And the Dinos not making life easy for the Cougars, especially after the whistle.
Yeah, they're really tucking close to Kate Holland. They're instigating a lot of pushing and shoving going on. So it's really adding fuel to the fire for the Cougars already being down 2-0. But like we said last year, the Dinos not proven to be that great on the power play, but as we can see tonight with one of their goals being from the power play.
Rebound out front and nearly a chance there on the far side off the Fry shot. McLeod looking for the one-timer, and Matenko couldn't find it. McLeod at the point now. Over to Johns. Fry wants the one-timer. Far side, and a high save there from Holland. Lindsay is going to take this one away from McLeod. She's going to head in 1-on-3 here. Lindsay protecting it down low, then lost it, and the Dinos are away once again. Played up the middle by Mercier. McLeod will flick it in. Compt to the boards, and that one bound for Dino ice. Awad. 18 seconds to go. Worked up onto the backhand of Johns. Martins tips it in. Will go after Hanson Young. Curley along the ringette line. Good bank play. Cutting into Perlinger. She's got it towards the goal. What a save by Holland. Not sure she saw it at all, but somehow keeps that one out of the back of her goal. Duke. Oh, good play there by Spence. Read that well, got the stick in the way. Duke was going to be off on a 2-on-1. Perlinger. Up ahead it goes. Martin's going to lose it to Metzger. Game's starting to heat up here. The Cougars still yet to get on the board. McPhee goes back. Long lead pass, and it's Watain one-on-one. Jersey Watain to the backhand, and it's poked away by Awad. Great read by Amelia Awad once again, stonewalling the Cougars. Backhanded in by Cooper. She'll hunt down McPhee. To the boards for Duke. Couldn't get it out. Schaefer's going to keep it in. Metzger tries once more, and this time it does get out. Watain and Duke are ahead. Duke waiting for anything to open up and sends one on goal. Taken away here by U of C. Schaefer going to play it off the boards. Hanaki lost it. And it's off of Kennedy. Believe it ended up in the bench. So we'll get a stoppage as a result.
That play by Watain, being able to get up there. She's not, like I've said before, she's not shy to scoring goals. She's one of the Cougars' top goal scorers last season. So to see her get those chances, it's just unfortunate it wasn't big enough to sneak that past Awad.
Borbandi up ahead to Girard. Girard looking for some help, sends it on goal. A bit of a shot pass there from Ali Girard as she was looking for Abby Borbandi. Now both in the corner. Tate's down there, Ray as well. McNinch makes herself an option. Looking for Hanaki out front, it was taken away. Borbandi, foot race with Ray. It's turned up ahead, Tate. Benko, who's played a lot of hockey with the Borbandis, dating all the way back to their time at with the Rocky Mountain Raiders. Hanaki, backhand into the skates of McLeod. Now McNinch taking on just about every Dinos member in the corner. Takes it away from Lawrence. And now McNinch hounded along the near boards. Benko's over there. Still a scrum going on. Hanaki can't get it away, and ooh, nearly a chance there for McLeod. Benko had that jump over her stick. Dinos trying to get organized and get Matenko onto the ice. And here goes Benko. Hauled to the ground here. No call's going to be made, and the Dinos will go the other way now. Matenko was looking for McLeod. Good stick there by Compton. Now a chance out front. Holland the save. Rebounds there, another save by Holland. Oh, Alex Spence. The narrative goal was right there for Alex Spence, and Kate Holland stones her former teammate.
One of those rebounds was off of a pass from one of the Cougars, so it's just unfortunate where it ended up, right in front of Holland, but she stood strong. She was on her head the entire time. It was crazy to see those opportunities. It probably feels nice for Holland to be able to stop Alex Spence.
Well, you can already hear and I guess see the messages that would have been sent in some former Cougar group chats if that one would have gone in. Here's Burt. Up ahead, Butts couldn't handle it. But Kate Holland keeping Mount Royal in this game. It's still only 2-0. Hutt. Her and Butts pushing along the boards. It's kept in for a second and played away by Mercier, but it still stays in for Mount Royal. Butts couldn't get back to it. That one bobbles past from Rodez. Burt overskated the puck, so did Butts, and now calling for it up ahead is Curley. Brett Curley. Dinos making a change here. Zuck and Martin's onto the ice to join her. From Rodez, looking up ahead, has Butts, and Butts couldn't hold on to it. There's been a couple passes tonight that Butts hasn't been able to keep a handle of. Hanaki cuts to the middle. Oh, good move by Hanaki. Works in, and a high save there from Awad, throwing everything but the kitchen sink at Amelia Awad, and she stopped it all in period number 2.
Yeah, that pass from that back corner up to the center to Butts, it would have been great if she could collect it on her stick, but like you said, she's bobbled a couple passes tonight. She just needs to calm down a little bit and really think about where the puck's gonna be and not where she is at that moment.
There's certainly an urgency to Mount Royal's game right now. Johns will play it up ahead. Icing's going to be waved off, and that's Jess Martins, one of the speedier players in Canada West who outduels both Cougar defenders. Lindsay to an open area, and right there is Ashley Grice. Grice works to the middle, looked to throw it on goal, it went wide. Borbandi, jawing in the corner there as her and Johns go down to the floor. It's up ahead now off the skate of Martins. Hanaki will skate it down, and this one will go for icing. So this time Martin's speed working against her. She was a little bit too far ahead of that pass.
Yeah, Martins has proved to be a great player for the Dinos for sure. She is very, very speedy. A lot of the girls on the Dinos have proven to have a lot of speed, a lot of pep in their step. It's just a matter of using that with the passes and capitalizing.
Here's one out front, and a good save off the tip there from Awad. I guess we'll give you a bit of an update on what's going on the other side of Calgary. It is 2-1 for the Calgary Dinos men's team over the Mount Royal Cougars, who are trying to climb back in that one as well. Hanson Young couldn't hold the line, so it's out to center. Duke, offside's going to be called here, and that's 2 or 3 tonight that have bit the Cougars.
Yeah, the first period we didn't have a lot of whistles. It was a very quick first period. This one we've had a lot more offsides. We've had a couple penalties, whistles being blown a lot more. So the girls are getting a little bit more aggressive. They're playing a little more forward. So we'll see what happens if they can keep this moving.
McPhee over to Benko. She'll dump it in with 5 minutes to go here in the second period of play. Cougars leading the shots 20-19, but the Dinos leading the score 2-0. McPhee towards the goal from Rades. Tate will take it down below, and one of the things the Cougars couldn't wrap their heads around last weekend was traffic out front. And even in the first, that was a struggle. But in the second, we've seen players like Ava Metzger right in the kitchen of Emilia Awad. Tate behind Awad's goal. Works it up ahead, and Ray couldn't get it. Hanaki. Ray back onto it, and then offside the other way. This time it's on the Dinos. Allow for both teams to get a change here, and both teams will. And that Burt, Hutt, and Butts line, they've had some chances with the break-in today, but it's been some sloppy play on working that break-in that has kind of thrown them off.
Yeah, the three of them together, they're great veteran players. It's just tonight something is off their game just slightly, so they'll see if they can pull it back for the rest of this period and going into the third.
Here's Butts. Look to play it open for Hutt behind the goal to Spence. Good play to spin away from danger. Kiana Burt was hot in pursuit. This one going to be held in. Hanaki's had a strong game today for MRU. But that one taken away by Spence. Didn't clear the red line, so this will go for icing. Lots of good things on that shift for Alex Spence, but the end of it, not what she was looking for. I'm sure she would like a change right about now.
Exactly, going from one team to another. As much as you love all your former teammates, it's got to be a little bit exciting to try and score your first goal against them.
Well, only 2 career goals with the Cougars, and those 2 goals about 2-3 years apart, so you got a feeling that she would like to get one, but her teammates would definitely be frustrated, saying, why didn't you score one for us when we were with you? Dinos have it down low now. Cooper, one hand on her stick towards the goal, and it's played away, and then Cooper takes a spill. Nafziger along the line, it's kept in and now taken away by Metzger. Metzger, Duke, and it's over to Mercier and in. Sydney Mercier, one of the few players in Canada West who have eclipsed 40 career points. Here's Metzger. Over to Watain. Watain gets caught up on that far side. McPhee's gonna hold it in. Mount Royal gonna look for one before the end of this second period. Throw a little seed of doubt into the Dinos' minds as they head to the locker room. Mercier behind her goal. McLeod's up ahead. A Hail Mary that went over her stick, but McLeod will beat out the icing. Borbandi, now a pass that flies her way. Johns is gonna be there first. Johns to the boards. It's going to find its way out, and here goes Clarenbach. April Clarenbach, the second-year player, drops it for McLeod and couldn't hit her. Here comes Borbandi. On her backhand now, peels to the corner. Looking out front, Lindsay was moving in and couldn't get a shot off. Dinos countering again. Clarenbach, breakaway to the backhand, and she fires it wide. Oh, April Clarenbach had a wide open goal, had Holen beat, but found the boards instead. Borbandi up over to Grice. Cougars, potential 3-on-2 the other way. McNinch spaces out, looking for that far right-hand side, but instead it meets the back of Awad's glove.
You can see the Cougars are kind of just throwing as many shots as they possibly can, just hoping one of them at the end of the day sneaks itself past Awad. They've tried a couple different opportunities, but her glove and her blocker have just been unreal tonight to start off this game.
Face-off won by Mount Royal. Comped. One from the line and a good deflection by McNinch, but it ended up wide. Benko down to the corner after Spence. McNinch in there as well. Gerard parks out front. Her and Curley getting into a battle for position. Comped. Pinched, but almost over-pinched, and it comes out to center. Martins screaming up through and into Mount Royal ice. Benko. Her pass is going to be turned over. Taken away by Curley. Going towards the goal, backhand pass, and a sliding Holen couldn't get to it, but McLeod couldn't get to the back of the goal. A minute to go here in this second period of play. Some last minute pressure here from the Dinos. Martins along the wall, Curley in there. Benko was down on the ice. She's up now and gets the puck free. Passes behind Gerard. Nafziger to her partner Johns. Outlet to Martins, quick tap pass, and then over skating it there was Kennedy. Here's Butts. Good speed down that right-hand side. Cuts around the back of the goal, waiting for Hutt and Burt to get on the ice. Sends it to McPhee. Eyes of McPhee, and that one ends up wide from Rades. Butts will let it go to the other side. Here's Burt. McPhee keeps it in, long shot, and a high save there from Awad with 8.2 to go in the period. So the Cougars are having offensive zone draw here. There's some importance on winning this one here and getting the last chance of this period.
Exactly, and even McPhee, the last two shots coming from her right from the blue line. It's nice to see her shot was just slightly harder. I feel like she could get it right up into Awad, but she just wasn't able to get those close enough.
From Rades, last second shot and a save by Awad with 0.3 of a second remaining. So the Cougars almost with a buzzer beater. Summer from Rades loves to score from the middle of the ice from up high, and that time couldn't get it through Awad. So the final buzzer is sound, and it is still 2-0 Dinos after 2 periods of play, but no goals in that period. And boy, it was a goalie duel. Kate Holen, Amelia Awad trading significant saves in this game, and significant because the Dinos still lead at this point.
Yeah, even with the Dinos leading 2-0, the Cougars are capitalizing on every shot attempt they absolutely can. So they are outshooting them 23-19 currently, but both goalies really holding strong, and we'll have to see what happens going into the third.
Yeah, haven't seen a goal from the first, so we'll see if we see one when U of C and MRU return in period number 3 here from Flames Community Arena. Just around the corner is our third period of play here from Flames Community Arena in Calgary, Alberta, as the Dinos have a commanding 2-0 lead over the Mount Royal University Cougars. It's been tough sledding for the Cougars so far, but one player that might be able to help them back into it is Jersey Watain. And for the Dinos, Sydney Mercier has been excellent tonight. Those two featured on tonight's Player Head-to-Head. And here's a look at their careers from afar. 75 shots on goal to 55 for Jersey Watain, or for Sydney Mercier rather, and that's really what makes these two so special. Their ability to create chances and throw tough shots on goal, and as a result, they've worked up some pretty good numbers over the years. Jersey Watain in her third season approaching that 40-point range, and of course, as we mentioned during the second period, Mercier already in that 40-point club. Two special scores.
Yeah, both girls really make an input on the ice with how many goals they can score, and even just the shot count that they put up. Just putting up that many shots in a game or in a season is really great because it shows that they do have those forward players that they can rely on and they really can trust to be those people when they need them.
And a shot right off the go here for Gabby Lindsay. Awad to make the save, and Amelia Awad in that second period, absolutely fantastic. So was Kate Holen on the other end, but you got to look at it from the Dinos' perspective. They build up this lead, which has been hard to come by the last couple of years, and she's helping them hold it.
Exactly. You want to build up leads like this, and especially after a season where you weren't able to build up leads, and even last weekend where they only scored 1 goal. So to have them playing strong the rest of the 2 periods is really a big thing. You have that lead, but you can't give it up. You can't give up on your game. 28 shots on goal for Mount Royal, all of them stopped by Awad, and you got to think, her goaltending coach this year, Gabriella Durante, former Dinos goalie, former Canada West All-Star. She played with her before Durante moved on to play in Italy and now has become a coach. You got to think that her development is part and due to Durante. This one back to Awad. She'll stick out the paddle and knock it down for Alex Spence. Spence gonna fan on a pass, and Butts will push her back. Hutt. Too far for Compt. Compt, 5 career assists so far, looking to build on that point total in 2025-26. Hutt, cross line, good sauce, just missed Burt. Burt's got it now as she sends it to the corner for Butts, and Burt will overskate it, and it's April Clarenbach. Out of the reach of Lawrence. Hanson Young's back for it. Goes up the boards, keeping it in is Clarenbach, April Clarenbach. Now have to hunt it down off the stick of Compt. Fry's gonna keep it in, and wouldn't be surprised if the Dinos sit back a little more in this third. Not being comfortable, but they're not gonna allow the Cougars to have any break-in chances. Fry, quick pass over to Lawrence, that taken away, and she couldn't find Schaefer on the second try. Hanson Young will spin away. Backhander up to Girard. Girard pinned and then got hit by the outside pole there near the Dinos bench. Benko fanned on the pass. Hanaki from the point. Looking for the tip was McNinch, and puck sailed wide. Tate in the corner. Picked up there by Schaefer. It's ahead to Cooper. Hanaki, good play with the hands to keep it in, and here goes Benko. Cindy Benko, a stutter step, and a high save there from Awad. Amelia Awad's glove is almost like her best friend. Like, she has been impeccable on that, and majority of the saves she's had tonight has been with her glove. There's her best asset. So we'll have to see if the girls can kind of figure that out and shift to maybe shooting on her blocker side a little bit more, deke her out, and really shoot those hard opportunities. And
you mentioned earlier, Naomi, that for Holen, the Dinos have targeted her glove side a lot tonight, and that's stayed with them through 2 periods of play. Here's one out front along the ice, and Duke didn't get a touch. Watain down to the corner. 2 different game plans for 2 teams. Although they're in the same community, they're both very different. Johns. This could cause some havoc here for the Dinos. Watain spins around and keeps it in. Duke's gonna overskate it. From Rades. Lets it fly, and a deflection wide. It hit the shin pad of Watain. Metzger got it at the point. Cougars ramping things up here. That pass was intended for Duke. McPhee gonna hold it at the blue line. Mount Royal starting a change here. He's into the actions. Gabby Lindsay had the first chance of this period with a low shot on goal. Up ahead, Matenko will skate after it. And this one gonna go for icing here. So Mount Royal will get an O-zone draw. Dinos will have to stay out there. Nafziger being pulled off the bench. Her and Johns will remain out there. They've had a long shift, those two.
Those two play really well together. They've been on the same line almost all night. They really play well. It's like they feed off of each other. They know where they are. They have great communication. So even though they are tired with this, being in their zone for the last little bit, they still hold strong.
Matenko waiting for a pass, and it didn't reach her in time. Hanson Young with a very low pinch here. Grice is behind the goal, and a collision happens. Grice in the middle of all of it. Nafziger unable to get it out again. Butts holds the line this time. Here's Grice. Had it on the toe of her stick. It's to the far corner. Grice couldn't get it to either Compt or Hanson Young on the back end, and so the Dinos will get a change. Or John's not going to quite get a change. Nafziger got off for Perlinger, but Johns will remain trapped. Here's Burt to the middle. Somehow got away from Perlinger and Martins, but then lost it. Johns, she's exhausted on the near side. Looking to play it ahead with one hand. Here's Zuck looking for it in the middle. Butts will hold it in. Curley down there. And it's free to Hutt. Hutt towards the goal, and Burt was right there, but a stick play by Awad puts it aside. Hanaki to the point for Burt. Ooh, Borbandi was wanting the one-timer, and a frustrating pass sent into the zone. Perlinger, good speed, chips it off the boards. Martins will head after it, so will Hanaki. Jordan Hanaki, bank pass over to Borbandi, up ahead for Girard, and it hit the bottom of her stick. It'll get on goal, so no icing. Fry being pressured by Girard. Benko's gonna take a bump in the corner and lose it. Tate up ahead, some good pressure in the first 5 minutes of this period from MRU, but no grade A chances yet. Girard was looking for a change, tried to send that one across the ice, and Ray put a stop to it. McNinch has got Benko. Benko 1-on-2 the other way. Toe drag move sent down to the ground, and that will award the Cougars with a power play. Tripping is the call here. Brooklyn Fry, I believe, is who's going to head off. So this is the time for MRU early in the third period. They're going to get some looks here, hopefully, on the power play.
Yeah, the last power play in the second period wasn't great for them. They ended up putting themselves on the penalty kill within the last couple seconds of their power play. So we'll see if they had some talks in the dressing room mid-period about what their attack was going to be like.
Hanson Young, stick handles, sends it to Girard. Watain wanted that in a spot to shoot it. She'll recover. Hanson Young thought about a shot. There's just no lanes. Dinos are doing a great job clogging them up. Watain around the circle, out front, rebound there, McNinch a whack at it, and a save by Awad. McNinch takes her time, gets it to Girard. High shot in, bar down it goes. Ali Girard cuts the Dino lead in half with a power play marker.
That's got to be a huge relief for Ali Girard. The amount of shots that girl has put on net tonight to finally get one past Amelia Awad. It's got to be the best feeling, especially with she did have a drop in goals last year, so it's nice to finally get back on the board for her.
Well, and she's been close so many times in this game, and when you show that you can score goals in one season, that means that you can do it in others. Ali Girard off to an early start here in 2025 with her first of the year in just her third game. So now the pressure on U of C to be able to hold a one-goal lead. That was Mount Royal's 30th shot of the night, so credit to Amelia Awad, stopping 29 of 29 prior. To the point for Fry. She took the penalty, allowed Mount Royal to have that opportunity. Now she's got one of her own, and a rebound try is in. What a response from the Dinos. It's Hannah Ray on the doorstep.
It was a great goal for Hannah Ray, being right there. She capitalized on that very, very quickly. Great rebound. Unfortunate for Holland, especially being so close after MRU closed the gap to a 1-goal game. We're back to a 2-goal game, 3-1. We'll see if MRU can respond again just as quick as UFC just did.
Yeah, the Dinos got some fight in their game. We saw right off the top of this game, they came out guns a-blazing, and they give up one, but they don't fold. Falling over here is Abby Borbandi. Kiana Burt in on the attack. You got to feel like she's almost due to get one here. It's been 3 games of plentiful chances. Here's Hutt in the corner. Matenko down there as well. And with it is Mercier. Cycle over to Matenko. Waiting up front, McLeod, and that one will fly high and over the goal. To the point. Nafziger along the ice, and a 5-hole save there from Holland. Burt stops up, takes the puck, and a backhand try goes to the far side. Nafziger corrals it, sends it in. Goes over the red line, so no icing on the play. Hanson Young gets into a shoving match there with Curley. Cougars have been looking for this long pass all night, and Spence read it well. Here's Alex Spence. Delays at the line, was looking for Martins in the middle, and here goes Benko. Benko going to be 1-on-3 the other way. Lost it to Perlinger. Here's Spence. Oh, good play by Benko to take it back. Benko off the back of the goal. McNinch to Girard, and it wasn't in a place where she could fire it. Ali Girard's been finding those quiet spaces. That's what we saw a lot from her in 23-24. Hanson Young off the boards to Benko. Well, you could see Girard signaling for Benko to send that in, and now she'll chase after it, but the Dinos get it back. Watain holds the line. Girard with the exclamation point as she fires it in. Almost at the halfway point of this third period, the Dinos once again leading by 2 as both these teams trade goals within about a 30-second span.
You don't see goals happening back-to-back that quickly anymore. So to see UFC really jump on that play and answer MRU's goal so quick is insane to see. Most goals will come later on in the periods, or you won't have as high-scoring games, especially in women's hockey.
Fry. Sandwiched along the boards here. Zuck is in there with one hand as well. Doesn't look like that puck's moving. Duke is in there as well. Puck inching its way along the boards. And finally it comes free. Duke trying to pull it out of the pile, and it goes right back in. Metzger's in the middle of it there. Now Duke's got it to the point. McPhee loads up along the ice, and a good save by Awad. Couple of deflections on its path to the goal, but it stays out. Watain collects off the stanchion from Rodez. That one off a stick and wide. Duke down to the corner again. A couple of fierce board battles in this last few minutes here. Zuck over to Cooper. From Rodez will back off and then catches it in the air. Borbandi plays it in around Cooper. Will head after Fry. There's still a glove out on the ice. The puck will avoid it, and now Tate's got it around the back of her own goal. Cooper. Hanaki's going to hold it in. Here's Grice. Sidesteps one defender. Now looking for someone out front, and Lindsay didn't get a powerful shot on that one as it went wide. Lindsay going to fall to the ice, arm up, so the Cougars will get another power play look here. Successful on the first here in the third. Can they double down?
You'd hope so with how they played in that first power play of the third period. We'll see what happens, because you can tell with the way they're playing, they're a little bit more organized. Their passes are much cleaner than they were the first two. There was definitely some talks in the locker room of just how to pull these girls back together to try and pull back in the third period.
Gerard gonna hold the line over to Watain. Watain, Mercier's all over her. Both the players in our head-to-head going step for step. Back is Jory Hanson-Young. Gerard. Up ahead to Metzger, it's fired back in. You know, for Jory Hanson-Young, not the only athlete in her family. Her sister playing volleyball in the Canada West Conference out in Manitoba. Not for the University of Manitoba, that is. University of Brandon, rather. The Cougars going to get a dreaded icing on the power play. Usually a sign that things aren't going too well.
Yeah, icing on a power play, especially when you're the ones that are supposed to be in the opposite zone, is never great for any team. So to have to restart back in front of their own goalie, we'll have to see how they can push themselves back into the zone.
Hanson-Young will pull back. Just great pressure up front from the Dinos, and all over Hanson-Young, and then running into the goal. But forcing that play from the beginning was Hannah Ray, or rather Brett Curley. Curley's had a strong night. We talked about her speed.
A lot of these girls have been showing significant amounts of speed. We've seen everyone go kind of end to end. Great opportunities just to really push themselves forward, and we'll see if they can use their speed to move through the rest of the last 9 minutes of the game.
Isa McPhee. Oh, Duke has that land right on her stick, and now she walks in with it. Duke will delay. Point for Femrades. A minute has elapsed in the Cougar power play. One-timer from Femrades. A high one. Rebound try. It's open out front. Awad's got it, and she's got a pile on top of her, and then a mean shove at the end of the play from Butts. Boy, Butts with a healthy push to the back of Tate, and I'm surprised that's not getting called.
Yeah, Femrades looked like she got tied up with Awad a little bit, got shoved down by a couple of the Dinos because she was in the crease. Butts was there right to retaliate and protect her teammate, just to kind of be like, you can't push my teammates, so I'm going to push yours.
Duke will take the draw here. Still some discussion going on between the officials and players. One to the near boards for Benko from Rades. Ooh, great pass over to McPhee. McPhee will walk in and sends that one high. But how about that pass from Rades? Under duress, puts it right on the tape, and gave McPhee a scoring opportunity to get her first Canada West goal.
Yeah, to be able to pass it back to a defenseman, especially a rookie defenseman who you trust to have that open lane. Femrades is great at passing. She knows how to analyze those lanes and those plays. McPhee so close to capitalizing on her first Canada West goal.
Femrades is moving in here. Duke sends it towards the goal. Femrades to Benko. Curls off. Now Summers got it up high. One-timer from Rades. That one went wide. Mercier takes it with 25 seconds to go in the Dino kill. Good job by Mercier. From Rades will make sure it doesn't run down the whole ice. Now McPhee will work it up ahead. Just staying on side there was Duke. And now Benko's got it. Lindsay moving towards the goal. Lindsay in tight, and there was an open goal, but she couldn't free her stick up. Duke. Cougars run it back in. Benko looking for the drop. Reading that drop was Jada Johns. Ooh, and a shove in the corner there. Borbandi. Penalty over here for the Dinos. Kyle looking towards the front of the goal. Over to Hanson-Young. Chop shot ends up on the far side, or on the near side rather. Brianne Compt. Compt spinning around. Now Borbandi off to the races, charging into Perlinger. 7:20 to go here in this third period. Dinos still with the lead and with their first successful kill of this period. Tate around the back of Holen's goal. Fry at the point. Here's Perlinger. Fry towards the goal. Rebound, Tate a shot, and it snuck through Holland, through the blue paint, but nobody there. Tate's down to the ice. There'll be a penalty upcoming. The Dinos will get a look on the power play now, as it'll be tripping. And now Butts is knocked over by Clarenbach. Could be a couple of penalties on this play, but I believe it's just the one for now. Clarenbach loses it, takes it on the far side. Out of the reach of Fry. Right there to take it was Ray. Touching up here will be Burt. And tripping is the official call on this one. And for the Dinos, they just want the time to run down in this game. They're going to get a chance to keep the puck away from Mount Royal. And they have a bit of an extended power play on the back end of that, holding the puck away from Mount Royal, not allowing them to touch up.
Exactly. For UFC, you want power plays like this because it gives you that opportunity to keep it out of your own zone. You have that man advantage. With 6 minutes left, they've got time to run this clock down. But for MRU, they're really trying to push hard to keep running forward. They got their first goal on the board, but they do need 2 more to try and push into overtime.
And MRU, not a team that's under 500 very often. It's looming right now. If they're unable to kill this off and unable to get 2, that's where they'll be sitting. And the Dinos will be first place in that East Division. For a team that missed the playoffs last year, that's a huge jump to start the year. And here they come jumping into the Cougars' end. Spence takes it up high, the only Dino there. And that one's going to hit Hanaki. Spence going to keep it in. Borbandi, a backhand, finally free to Cooper. Cooper gains a little speed on the left-hand side, spun around by Framrades, and it's played out. Spence to McLeod. McLeod taking her time here, looking for Matenko, and Matenko had to stay on side. 54 seconds to go in the Dino power play. Johns up to Fry, this tall pairing for the Dinos out there now. Here's Mercier. Mercier protects it with her backhand from Rades. On the boards against her. McLeod looking out front. Johns had crept in and didn't find her. Fry backhands that away from Watain, who's out on the kill now with Girard. Girard's going to take this one away. Couldn't bring it out front. Fry. Chop back over to Johns. Matenko. Good spin move to get away from Compt. And up ahead goes Mercier. Girard has it rolled to her out front. Good save there by Holland. Might have caught Holland off guard initially, but she scrambles to it. So successful kill here from Mount Royal. They're going to try and work it up ice and find a way to get 2 more goals as the clock continues to tick down. Almost under 4 minutes here in the third. Borbandi. Pass is picked off. Martins. Far side over to Curley. Was intended for Zuck. Borbandi will go back for it. There's going to be some hard minutes played for some select players here from Mount Royal. You think Watain, Girard, they'll be out there for a majority of this last 4.
Exactly. You want to put them out. You want to put your veterans out there. They know what's going to happen in these last couple minutes of play. But at the same time, you don't want to put them out for too long and wear them out for the last little bit.
That pass from Burt behind Lindsay, and having to head back now is Abby Borbandi. Looking for the stretch feed, and it was almost taken away. Now it is. Ooh, a nifty move up ahead. Falling over in the midst of the play was Kennedy. Icing going to be waved off. John's back for it. Cougars making a change. Pass up the far side. Hanson Young's back for it. Hanson Young over to Metzger. Metzger protecting here. One hand on her stick. On her off wing. Brings it around Holland, waiting at the top of her crease. Here's Hanaki towards the goal, and a good block there from Tate. So Tate drawing the penalty before, getting a key block there. Lots of good things within her game tonight. Duke Good speed. Going in 1-on-4. Rebounds there. Awad gets to it. A good rush sparked by Julia Duke, and she did it all on her own.
That was beautiful by Duke, just to push past every one of the U of C defensemen. So it's nice to see her get that opportunity. Unfortunately, not going past Amelia Awad. So see if she can try and get another opportunity in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2:33 for the Cougars to work here with the goalie pulled. So officially 6 attackers on. Girard, Butts. Oh, and Butts fanning on it out front. She had a wide open net. From Rades down to Benko. Back up to Summer. McPhee's wanting the one-timer. He's going to get it. And that one goes into the glass. It was Girard who got the tip on it down low. Good play there by Butts to battle it away. And it'll end up on the stick of Benko. Short pass over to Girard. And from Rades unable to hold the line. Now the Cougars will have to reset. McNinch brought down to the ground. Matenko up ahead. Looking for McLeod. She's looking for the net and off the iron. Oh, a chance there for McLeod to put it away. And mere inches from doing so. Matenko's pushed along the boards. Tied up is McNinch. Good pressure here from Mercier. Mercier going to keep her balance and keep the puck. Girard skates after it. And now ahead with Butts. Here's Butts pulling it to the middle. Second try, and it's put wide of the goal. Good look for Livia Butts again, but she can't find the goal. Watain. Puck is tied up. And the skates of Lawrence on that side. And now it's tied up once again. Borbandy in the middle of it. Hanson Young is frantically pushing. And now kicking at it as it's finally out to Borbandy. Under a minute to go here in the third. Watain is looking for the return pass. He's going to lose the puck, and it'll head down the ice for icing. And Metzger was slowly making her way back there. It almost cost her. There was a late hot pursuit being put on by Ray.
That last battle against the boards, like you said, Hanson Young was frantically kicking at that puck. U of C pushed it against the boards. They're loving that. They're pulling time off the clock to keep this lead. MRU scrambling to pull it off, trying to get the puck away so they can get that goal.
And a couple of good looks down the stretch here for Mount Royal. Livia Butts a few. Ali Girard once again. Even a chance from the point for McPhee looking for her first. But for Mount Royal, only 37 seconds to go. Barring a miracle, it looks like the Dinos are the team heading to 2-1 here, and Mount Royal will start the year below 500 only by a game, and they get a chance to even that tomorrow, but not the showing that you wanted to see here from them after losing the second one last weekend to the Huskies.
Exactly. They coming into this, it would have to be an absolute miracle to pull off 2 goals in 37 seconds. They want it to happen, but the reality of it is too much of a time crunch to get that done. So we'll see what they do tomorrow night.
Metzger. This one is sent all the way down the ice. That might be about 30 seconds before they get it back into the Dinos' land. Here's Girard. Drop pass. McNinch on goal, and a tough save there from Awad as Fry was right in front of her. So it'll be 20 seconds to go. A draw on the Dinos' end here. Matenko and Spence back on the ice. McLeod and Mercier as well. Fry on that far side. So Metzger will take the draw here against Mercier. To the point from Rades. Work to the boards for McNinch. Spinning and ends up down on the ground. Here's Girard. To the point, 7 seconds. McNinch sends it on goal. Right there was Watain, and it got caught up in her skates. Had a wide open goal again, and that will do it. The Calgary Dinos come on the road, and although not a far journey, get it done, winning 3-1 in the first Crowchild Classic meeting of the year. And as we said, they moved to 2-1 and first place in the East Division.
It was a great game for both teams. U of C really came out guns a-blazing. They made a name for themselves tonight. They really had that offensive power, and they proved to everyone that they can have an offensive grouping, even they haven't been able to the last couple of years. Cougars down 3-1, unfortunate loss, but they also did play just as well. They played very hard. They tried their absolute best. And even those open net opportunities that they did have, like I said last week, sometimes the open nets, they're wide open, but they're just not there at the same time, which is unfortunate for those girls.
Yeah, bounce here, bounce there, you never know. And the Dinos doing it without one of their superstars, Brooklyn Anderson, who's been a fantastic player with the Trinity Western Spartans and now with the Dinos, not in the game tonight. And it looked like they didn't skip a beat without her. Phenomenal play from the red, yellow, and white. And for the blue and white, they will get a rematch tomorrow on the other side of the city, looking to get a little bit of revenge and even the season series, because although all wins count for the same against any team, you know, the Crowchild ones feel a little bit better.
Yeah, they always mean a little bit more. They always hurt a little bit more when you win or lose. So we'll have to see the next couple of matchups they do get to play against U of C. It'll be a great preview coming into Crowchild that they do every year. We'll see how everyone feels coming into the Saddle Dome at the end of the 2025 year.
We will have to see then. But the Dinos getting it done tonight at the FCA. Final score 3-1, and we will be back here tomorrow with the men's home opener against, yes, the U of C Dinos. So stay tuned for that, and we will be back with more. For Naomi Campbell and myself, Truman Bartman, we say so long, take care, and we will see you right back here tomorrow on Canada West TV.